you're putting, okay, slow down. You're putting the cart before the horse. So just before you jump into like what's going on today, you got to understand like things happen in chronological order. You got to understand the timeline of events. So before we go anywhere near that, I want to go back a little bit because you started off by talking about how Black Christians are successful, and Christianity in the Black community is, you would say it's uplifted, right? It's uplifted us, right?
For sure.
Can you and I agree that Christianity is what led to the demise of Black people? Before there was any uplifting at all, whatever you calling that, we got to go in order, right?
Okay, we can do that. I mean, I'm here for the conversation. We can do that. Take this ride.
So if we're going in order, we were not Christian first. Right. Christianity was brought to us, right?
For sure, as was every single religion.
Correct. So, do you know who brought Christianity to us?
More than likely, it'll probably been the Spaniards.
Right. Have you heard of the Dum Diversas and the Romanus Pontifex?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
So the Dum Diversas is what Christians, those Spaniards that you're talking about, the Dum Diversas is what Christians use to justify reducing Africans to perpetual permanent slavery in the continent of Africa. And the Romanus Pontifex is what Christians use to fuel the transatlantic slave trade. Race-based chattel slavery was caused by Christians. Both slave trade that had to do with Africans were a direct cause of what was going on with Christianity and Christians.
Yeah, so that's like not true, right? So what caused the transatlantic slave trade was the Trans-Saharan slave trade.
Do you know what caused the Trans-Saharan slave trade?
Yeah, West Africans trading with Arabs.
That's not entirely how it goes. The reason why those Arabs came in and were taking over all of that Byzantine territory, the Byzantine Empire is the Christians, right? Did you know that?
So are you saying that
hold up? I'm trying to help you understand before you ask questions.
You asked a question, my bad.
So do you understand that the Roman Empire, when I say Byzantine Empire, I'm talking about the Christians. So when those Arabs were coming in and taking over all of that Byzantine territory, it was because of the conflicts that was going on prior to that, but amongst Christians. There were things like the Council of Chalcedon, where the Christians outlawed monophysitism, where there were Christian groups that believed that Jesus only had one divine nature. Those groups were persecuted by the Chalcedonian Christians, which is the Byzantine Empire. Out of that conflict, you get things like iconoclasm, which is a Christian dispute over whether or not they should make images of Jesus. The conflict between the Chalcedonian Christians and the Monophysite Christians and iconoclasm created the vacuum for that Arab conquest of the Byzantine territory. The Christians that didn't agree with the empire were being persecuted, pushed out, and they dispersed into the Arab world. And out of that, you get these. Basically, when the Arabs are coming in, it's like, well, the fucking Byzantine Empire have been kicking our ass and persecuting all of us for so long that when these Arabs are coming in and taking this shit, we like, shit, hey, anything's better than the Romans. And so that system and that conflict creates the room for a Arab slave trade. Arabs came in with swords. They didn't come in preaching about no love your neighbor. They came in with swords because of the conflict. And then that is where you get your Trans-Saharan slave trade. When those Arabs come in and they're taking over all of these European Byzantine territory, when the Byzantine Empire goes to get it back, that's where you get your crusades. After, after the Crusades, you get the Ottoman Empire coming in and taking all of that shit. That is when you get what I told you earlier about the dum diversas, where the Christians were looking for any enemies of the church. And because those Arabs had already came in, the Ottoman Empire were already over there, they were like, go into Africa and reduce everybody to slavery. That's what they said. So you got to understand what set the stage for both of those slave trades. Yes, everybody played a part in it, but they were still a direct result or a direct cause of what Christians had going on in Christian conflict.